Hello and welcome to The Lab, a Minecraft podcast where we explore, experiment, and theorize about all things Minecraft. I am Miner Thoughts, and with me is a man who doesn't have the new wood, so he has to stick with the old wood, the Troj.
Sometimes it's good just to, stick with what you know and not branch out too far. Yeah, I got one in this time.
Okay. Oh, I see where you... Oh, okay. I got you. I
I was very impressed with that. That came on the fly. How you going, Miner?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right.
It's good.
So, real quickly, before we get into the subject, we got the name. We got the name of the next update.
We did.
It is the Tricky Trials. I guess that works.
Yeah. I guess. Yeah. It's not, I don't know. It seems odd to my ears, to my eyes. Yeah, let's go with it, I guess. They got that whole alliteration thing, so yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I was just going to say the same thing. They're going with alliteration. But maybe. We'll see. It's not over yet. Not over yet. There is still the possibility new wood. Got a couple weeks before the release candidates and whatnot start coming out.
Look, I think at this stage I would be very, very, very surprised if we get a new wood. But it is what it is, I think you're more going to see a wood variant come in when they're looking at a biome revamp or something like that. So, yeah, who knows? But, it is what it is. As you said, new wood's good wood, but old wood's the best wood.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But interesting choice of name. I'd heard Tinker and Trial or something like that being thrown around for a while in the community. I actually quite like that one because I think it's more relevant because of the things that they've introduced. It is what it is. It's just a name.
Yeah, I was more partial to Trials and Toots.
Trials. That's because you've got a thing for wind, Miner.
I know. Well, I'm old. That it comes with age.
Not quite the wind I had in mind, but anyway, yes, sure. Let's go with that. I think that might be our first fart joke.
Maybe, I don't know.
We've gone there. We've really declined into something now, haven't we? Anyway,
we try to stay young in mind,
and that's probably why we play Minecraft, and why we've got into content and how we, enjoy the game, but also try to grow our little channels.
Yeah, I mean, and if I'm being honest, I still stream. I don't make YouTube videos as much, but I really still enjoy streaming. But what we're doing right now, talking about Minecraft via the podcast, this is something that I'm really passionate about. And it all, it's all content. So you do what you love when it comes to content.
That's the main one. And if you haven't guessed, and it's probably been hard to guess, we're going to take a little bit of a look at, how to grow as a small content creator today. And we are by no means experts on it at all in any way. We're both very small. I'm seeing a little bit of growth on YouTube and on Twitch at the moment, consistently, which is nice. So I do feel a little bit like an imposter on this subject, but, from our perspective as the small ones that are still slaving away, trying to make that break, get that roll going, maybe some of our experiences more than our insight might be beneficial for those listening that, might have just started up a YouTube channel or going to think about starting up a YouTube channel or even a Twitch streaming channel. Maybe some of our thoughts might be help from our experience.
Right. And it's all trial and error, really. You learn some things, you try some things, try different things, find out what works, what sticks, and then do that.
And I think 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get it right the first time or the first 10 times or the first 20 times. You're just not. I look back at, the first videos that I made on DTG family gaming with the kids. I would try to watch those videos now and it's like, it hurts. It hurts the retinas, it hurts the ears. From an editing perspective, it hurts. But as you said, it's trial and error, and you learn as you go. You learn different techniques, which all come together to make a better product. And obviously, if you put a better product out there, the people that come across your channel and your videos, they're going to go, oh, this is actually something worth watching. They may not necessarily like what you're doing because you're still learning, but I guess production values, particularly with sound, I find, goes a long way to keeping people engaged longer. So if you focus on your sound over everything, so your first one's probably my first tip is sound is such a big thing for people. People seem to be able to handle not looking at shaders footage, but if your sound is terrible and you got like a clicking or you got background noise or something like that, they seem to run away really quick. But if you've got a nice, decent sound with maybe you run it through like a free program called Audacity to get all the background noise out and tune it up a little bit, that will probably help from a technical point of view anyway.
Right. And there's all kinds of things you can do. The videos that I've done, my editing style, I try to be a little different. And there are things that I've tried that maybe people view it and say, well, that looks a lot like what someone else does. But I try to find my own voice. And I think that's important. I mean, you can follow trends and do things that other content creators are doing because, it's trending and, and that's what people are focused on at the moment. But at the same time, you need to try and find your own voice and find what you feel is genuine for you. You know what I mean?
Look, I agree with that. And you've got to focus on making videos that you enjoy. And as hard as it sounds, not worry about the metrics. Don't look at the figures. Don't look at the sub counts. Don't look at the bits, those sort of things, because it can get you down, particularly when you're early starting. You're not going to very rarely you're going to put a video out and it's going to get thousands and thousands of views straight up because you'll be unknown, you're new quantity, and you're one of thousands. And, then that's reality too. My craft as a YouTube, even on Twitch, is an oversaturated market. There is so many people that make videos on it and even more coming every day. And that's not to say that, you shouldn't do it or not to give it a crack, but just keep in mind, it's a very tough niche to crack into. And the other part of that is, you can't really look. One of my bits of advice to people and have asked me this is go watch your favorite creators that make good well-edited videos. Watch them with different eyes, like watch them to see what they're doing. Oh, they've used this angle for this shot. Oh, they've done a time lapse this way. They've done XYZ in a certain fashion. Oh, they've used this sort of transition. Watch the videos with that in mind. But the caveat that I'll put on that is the bigger creators out there, so e.g. the Grians, the Mumbos, the Ethos, the Hermits, the big ones, what they do in videos doesn't necessarily mean that that's the style that's going to work for you. The benefit that they've got is they've been doing it for 10, 12 years, so they've got a built-in audience. So, for example, you look at some of them, let's just say Etho as an example, doesn't do a whole lot of editing, or even Doc M, puts out basically 90 minutes episodes. If you and I, and probably most of the people listening to us, did that, we would not get the same views. It's because they've got the inherently built-in audience already that gets them the views. If they were starting and putting out videos like that, I think they'd find it really, really hard to actually go and get a go in the way the market is today when it comes to YouTube. So you've got to, unfortunately, as us as the little ones, the rules that we need to play to don't apply necessarily to the big ones who have already cracked it. So you sort of touched on it before, you got to find the trending topics within your niche. So Minecraft, what's trending. If you can find what's about to trend, you're going to be ahead of the game and get into it that way. But you also need to probably look at some of the other ones that are sort of just emerging, coming through. They maybe have just skyrocketed to 20, 30, 40,000 subscribers. What are the style of videos that they're making? What are the topics that they're covering? How are they doing their videos? Because they're the ones that are actually making the moves now based on not having a built-in audience. So they're the ones you probably need to sort of to look at, more so than going, oh, well, this is how the hermits do it, I'm going to make my videos like this, may not translate.
Right, exactly. And I don't know, we've had these discussions before about content and other creators that we have watched and observed over the years, over the months. And I think another thing is whatever niche you decide, like there's kind of sub niches within Minecraft, whether it's hardcore, SMP style content, just a single player let's play. There's a bunch of different things, and or even modded. Like one creator that I've still follow to this day, his new name is Monocle. He started off with kind of expose type content, and he kind of got pigeonholed into that type of content, and that's what people expected from him. So I don't know the whole story of how he decided to change his whole look and branding and everything, but I think he just got to where he's like, that's not just what I want to be known for. People were watching the videos, getting millions of views for these types of videos. But when he tried to do something else, then he wasn't getting the views. And you said this, that there are videos that you put like hours and hours and hours of work into, and they don't do as well as some that you just play, and there's just not a whole lot of editing to do, and for some reason they perform better.
I know why, and it's the topic that you cover. So what you're referring to there is, I was running very, very short on time recently to get a video. I'm trying to get a video out once a week, and when work really picks up and life gets in the way, it's very hard to do that. And you're right, with the Interrealms videos, I put hours into editing, because it's more a labor of love. For me, putting an effort into that. And I enjoy the process. I enjoy the editing. I love the crafting the story, telling the story, putting the videos together, picking the right soundtrack, But I was really, really getting short of time. And I went, I don't have time I started editing a video for Interrealms, and it just wasn't going to be the level that I wanted it to be at. Which is another thing that we're going to come back to, is, making content that you love and enjoy, regardless of anything else. But we'll circle back to that one. But I just went in and went, right, I found a data pack that was on my list. I got a running list of any ideas that I have or that I see around the place. I'd like to try that at some stage. I've got a little in my notebook. I write it down. I went to one that I've been wanting to do for a little while, and literally I played for 45 minutes. I edited it for about an hour, threw one music track behind it and put it up there, and it went for thousands of views. And I actually remember saying to my son, I'll be happy with 50 views on this one, because I haven't put much time into it. And I think it's over 3,000 views. So at the moment, and it was just like, and it pulled in the subscribers too. And it was like, it's just it's the nature of the beast. You never know sometimes, the algorithm is just going to pick something up because it's the way the algorithm works and pushes it out. So how that works is, you'll have a set of, and this is probably where Monocle had an issue, was how the algorithm works is what it will do is it will, at the start, when you first put videos out, it will send your video groups A, B, C, and D, little segments of those groups. So it'll see how they react. Now, let's just say group A is the Minecraft group, and B, C, and D are different things. It might be Fortnite and whatever. The algorithm then looks at your video and goes, at what's happening, and goes, oh, group A are responding to this video. So they stop showing it to B, C, and D, and they send it more to Group A. But in Group A Minecraft, you've got people that enjoy watching speedruns. You've got people that like watching builders. You've got people that enjoy watching long plays. People that like watching SMPs. People that enjoy PvP. So different segments in that. And then what will happen is, over time, as you release more and more videos, it'll keep throwing it out to where you've had success before in a certain segment. And the algorithm will learn that your videos are attracted to segment A, but within that sub-segment, which might be Let's Play videos. So in the case of Monocle, he had a breakout success with Expose. So the algorithm's going, okay, his videos are really liked by segment A, Minecraft, those that like the exposés, and then started funneling all of his traffic that way because that's where his videos had success. So the minute then he went into Let's Plays, his Let's Plays are going to those that like exposés. That's not translating. So his watch times probably dropped, the views aren't there, and that's how it works. The algorithm had to relearn what he was doing, and he obviously wasn't happy to wait for it to relearn. I can see it, even though I've got a small channel. I think at the time, it recently crossed 2,000. I think it's up to like 2,130 or something at the moment. It's nice to see, a lot of subs coming every week at the moment. I can see that channel started on tutorial style, and then I just don't like making tutorials. Even though I was getting success out of them, I just don't like it. I wasn't enjoying it. And so I decided to go back to what I enjoyed, which was SMP content, mucking around with my friends, telling a story and just crafting, enjoying the process. And the SMP style videos that were coming through didn't do too well. Also, let's call them Let's Play videos. Weren't doing really well at the start. But then, I started doing the One Chunk series, and all of a sudden it started going 4,000, 3,000 views per video, right? And it's like, oh, something's happened, something's changed, and now my Let's Play stuff will get, it's more the challenge stuff that I do. So like the One Chunk or the Straight Line or whatever goes for thousands of views. The SMP stuff goes for hundreds of views, which is fine. I've got no problems with that. But when I put out a tutorial recently, it didn't do anything. Why? Because the algorithm now learned for the last 12 months, this channel has pivoted. The algorithm has learned, oh, we're now going to show the stuff, this content to those that like Let's Plays.
Yeah, so, it's the Minecraft, but it's the challenge type thing. It's Minecraft, but you're walking in a straight line, or Minecraft, but you're in one chunk.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's another sub genre, sub niche of Minecraft.
And frankly, I love the challenges because it just, not because of the value, like the content, but I just generally love playing Minecraft that way, is make the game harder than it already is and see if you can crack it. I genuinely love that thing. I enjoy it. The Straight Line one, again, credit to Wadsy. It was his original idea that I've borrowed. I have no idea whether the game's even possible to finish, but it's going to be fun. And I think that's what translated into that video actually being a success, is that I enjoyed it. And I think it translated through into the video, even though it was very simply edited. And it's just basically me talking. I think it translated through, and it had the best watch time I've had on a video in a long time. Best sub count, best views. It was pleasing to see. But that for me is what it all comes down to. At the end of the day, when you're starting out, you're not, well, you might be. You never know. You might be an instant breakout success. But the reality is you're probably not going to be. So focus on the fun, focus on what you enjoy, and enjoy it as the hobby that it is. If you do that, it will translate into your videos. Eventually, you'll start getting traction. Then the snowball effect will happen. I can see the snowball effect at the moment, translating on both Twitch and YouTube. The bigger you get, the more subs you get, the more you attract. And that is a little bit sucky when you're starting and you're little, but that is just what happens. If you can be consistent, put out content that you enjoy making and enjoy watching yourself, it will happen, and you just stick to it. But consistency and, enjoying it, I think, are the two most important things.
And I, like I said before, I haven't done a whole lot of video content, but what I have put out, even though it hasn't got hundreds and hundreds of views, I am proud of, and that's part of enjoying what you're doing and enjoying the content, making the content you yourself would watch. And I feel like with the videos that I've put out, that it would be something that I would watch. I mean, if I'm being honest, there's a couple of views I've from in there that I've had on my alternate channels where I'm like, I enjoyed making this video. You never know. You never know that there might be something that you put out there that the algorithm picks up and puts out to a couple people, and then and then it just kind of snowballs, with your challenge type things. There may be something like that. And like I said, this podcast thing that we're doing with the lab, we're going on 3 years on this. 3 years, right? It's third.
This is the third season. Well, the first year we were a once a month segment on the Interrealms podcast.
Right.
Second year being standalone.
We're seeing growth in this too. And it has its ups and downs. Not every episode has high, each episode has its highs and lows, and it all depends on the topics, what we talk about. Sometimes it's a trending topic. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes, we're just, talking about something, that's kind of like Minecraft, but not really. It has its ups and downs. But another thing that I wanted to mention about this whole growth is community. I think that's an important part of growth in any content creation, is not being like we were in the beginning. I remember doing this, slapping your video up in Facebook, like a link dump. You're just posting your video there, hoping that, whoever in this community would give you a watch or view or whatever, and not really interacting the community at large. But now, with streaming and Discord and just getting to know your community through social media, I'm trying to reach out with the lab on Twitter or X, and kind of, start conversations and start, discussions and kind of network and build a community around the content that we're making.
Yeah, I think that's one of the best things. And particularly when it comes to streaming on Twitch, we've talked a lot about YouTube, but streaming on Twitch, networking is the best way. And that doesn't mean using the leech technique, which so many people do, is they come into someone's community, they wiggle their way through, they come into the stream and they just talk to the other people in the stream and drop hints that, hey, they're a streamer and whatnot. That is just not on that. That's not the way to do it. But networking and naturally, meeting their people and vice versa, networking is the best way to grow on Twitch and grow your streaming. And incidentally, if you are streaming and you're not multi-streaming to Twitch and YouTube because you're allowed to now, you're silly. You need to be doing that, because you're making the content, you're seeing that anyway. Why not put it out on both platforms? And I'm seeing that at the moment. I stream on both at the same time. I multi-stream, and slowly but surely, I'm seeing more and more people coming through on the YouTube chat saying, "Oh, hi, I've just discovered this one," or, "Oh, I'm a recent subscriber, thought I'd say hi." So if you have the ability to multi-stream, 100% do that as well. But for growth on Twitch, networking as part of a community, find a community like Interrealms. We'll help you, give you the boost. We've had so many people come through and hit affiliate that we've helped to get there. That is one of the best ways to grow. And as you said, the sense of community as well. You can't beat that.
Mm-hmm. No, definitely. There are so many different things you can do to grow your content. But again, it boils down to do what you enjoy, and and get to know a community of like-minded creators. And we'd like to know what you think. What are ways that you've found to grow your community, your channel? If you have a YouTube channel, you can email us. We've had a couple come through here lately that are just small creators and give us feedback. And we do those feedback episodes just about every month. We try to, but you could just email us at minecraftlabpodcast@gmail.com. You can talk to us over on Twitter at mclab_podcast, or hit us up live and in person on the Discord. Links, all these links are down in the description. And then there's also the awesome website of interrealmssp.com.
No, we would definitely love to hear your thoughts. And if you are a bigger content creator listening to this, we want to hear your thoughts as well. Maybe you'd like to share something with the community. Maybe you'd like to one episode in the future, and we can revisit this topic because, we're learning as well. As I said at the start, I sort of feel a little bit like an imposter talking on this topic, considering I've only got just over 2,000 subscribers on YouTube and getting close to 1,000 on Twitch. But if our experiences can help even someone, a lot smaller to get on the road and maybe be inspired to just give it a shot, then I'm happy to talk about it. But we'd definitely love to hear some more thought.
Well, you know what time it is. It's time for me to wrap this up because, of course, I've got something to blow up, and you're on the search for that wood or whatever wood you can get your hands on.
Interestingly. Okay, let's go with that. All right, goodbye, all. Wow.
But you were up at 6 a.m. just to reply to me like, spoilers.
Yeah. Yeah. I had to wake up. It was like a disturbance in the force. It was like, Miner, spoiler.
Miner's giving out spoilers. I felt it in the force. That's a good one. That's a good one. There's a disturbance in the force.
Yeah. Like 1,000 spoilers were given out by Miner.
Exactly. That's a good one. Oh my goodness.